How's it going, everybody? I am Donut. This is, of course, a Black Lives Matter, All Cops are Bastards, and Trans Rights supporting channel. You better be supporting that shit too, or you can get the fuck out of here. This is Broad City Season 1, the finale, Episode 8, The Last Supper. I don't know exactly what that's going to entail for the episode. We don't even have enough characters to really fill out a full Last Supper table, so I don't know. I guess there's going to be a couple of them, again, maybe in a bottle episode in Abby's apartment, doing something. It is kind of weird. We only got 8 episodes this season, so I'm curious if they're going to do like a traditional season finale, or if they're just going to kind of do another random kind of ish episode and just hope they get a season 2. Because, yeah, it's not like there's much of a continuing story to wrap up or anything. Yeah, well, let's get into it. Okay, so that was this episode. Really good finale. Really excellent finale. Could not have asked for anything better. I'm honestly super glad we didn't go touch on any of the other characters at all. Not even Lincoln. We brought up Lincoln's name, but that's the maximum we touched on any other character. It was entirely an Alana and Abby focused one. Really something we needed for the finale. And yeah, it really felt like a perfect tonal conclusion to this show, which has been way less of a situational comedy and way more of a, what would be a correct word for it? Because situational comedies is a lot of, we're going to get ourselves in this really wacky situation that is going to continue to get wackier and wackier through, very a universe means, like, the universe just fucking them over. That tends to be a lot of situational comedies. You have your premise at the start that comes up that's usually out of their control, and then through their control and through the universe, actions sort of snowball. And we had that in the episode where they're trying to get to the wedding. That was the most situational comedy-like episode. It feels so weird saying the whole situational comedy. But, yeah, I feel like that's like one of the only episodes we've had like that, whereas the rest have just been, the comedy is coming through the characters just talking like people, except a little bit, like, they do have an extra spicy flavor of being bad people, but not enough to where they are like Seinfeld level bad people, or It's Always Sunny level bad people, or, what's the other show? Was it just called, like, Girls or something? That, of bad people. Like, they are just bad enough to where you could be like, yeah, I would be friends with these people. But bad enough to where the jokes are, funny, and it's not just watching normal people do normal things. They have that inherent, like, you want to justify their actions, but, like, they'll take that one extra thing that's like, okay, no, that's crazy. And, yeah, I like how much, this episode was very, how do I put it? It was very traditional in how it was, like, structured, which is weird because it was very not traditional. But what I mean by that is, a lot of the other episodes just kind of do jokes and will just kind of, like, everything just kind of progresses forward, and there's not, like, a whole lot of callbacks and various stuff like that. It's just kind of moving forward, always. Whereas in this episode, there was a lot of bringing up a line and then having that actually be foreshadowing for something later in the episode, which is not like a usual thing for this show, which is probably like Amy Poehler bringing in a lot of that. I actually wanted to check the credits and see who that guy was. Seth Morris is his name. Seth Morris. Yeah, I've seen him in a lot of shows, but of course he always has like a role like that where he'll have a lot of lines, but not like a reoccurring role or anything. The only sort of reoccurring role that I could definitely say is Bob Duca from Comedy Bang Bang is like the only thing I could point to specifically. I'm not sure. I didn't recognize the guy that went and smoked them in the alley. Didn't recognize him at all. I thought I recognized the Doug, I think his name was, Abby's guy that she just hooked up with, but I don't recognize his name in any of the credits anywhere, so maybe I don't know him. Or maybe I only know him via appearance and I haven't just, seen his name on a podcast or something. But Yeah, the behind the kitchen plot line, like plot line. I like that it didn't go anywhere. I was honestly a little bit worried that they were gonna try and do a like, oh, by the end of the episode, these two will like make up or something. Which is like the traditional sitcom episode plot thing to do. I think have those characters in the background that have their own arc in the episode, but I'm glad they didn't. It was a solely this is just how the kitchen staff is. If you've ever worked in a kitchen or I've ever worked in any kind of customer service job where there is the separation between like the back area and the customer area, then you definitely know how it is. You definitely know that putting on the fake smile. I mean, everybody can relate to that. But I'm glad they didn't. They went very ham into it. They went very specific into it. They didn't just go for like a quick like, ha ha, the people in the kitchen are bickering, like they're not as nice as they seem. Everybody knows they're gonna do that. But with them sticking to a very specific plot line where these two characters are screaming, extremely personal stuff back and forth, it feels so much more relatable than just doing a sort of generic, they're arguing and they don't like each other and they're, saying like, oh, you gotta hurry up with this, whatever. I'm glad they have a personal thing they're dealing with. It is very similar to the, like, having a job is no different from being in high school. Like, high school is just a microcosm of the entire world, and you still have those, oh, we have a personal problem, but we're trying to work together, we're trying to go to school together, and, we used to date, but now we have to work together, and, all this, like, the cliques and all that sort of shit. It's a great example of the microcosm just opening up to the world. A lot of progression with Abby and Alana's relationship this episode as well. Interesting to see where we're gonna go from season 2 with that. But yeah, it does seem like that is like the main thing we are continuing throughout the season. I wasn't sure if we were gonna go anywhere with the Alana and Lincoln stuff, as I said, very early into the season. But I said if we were gonna go anywhere with that, I thought we were gonna go somewhere with that at the end of season 2 was my prediction, I believe. Abby and Alana seems to be what we're focusing on mainly, with them growing closer together and, growing closer together in a way that's not like, leading towards a relationship or anything, just leading towards them being a lot, like, it really seems like it is Abby opening up as much as Alana does, and slowly having Alana maybe, I don't know if Alana's ever going to learn the lessons. I don't know if she's ever going to learn a single lesson in her life. Alana seems like she's just going to be this way forever. But Abby does seem like she is changing and wants to be more open and wants to be more free and wants to be more, like, less oppressive of herself. Like, she is very, very down on herself. And this episode was one of the ones where she was really trying not to be. And even when it, when she had, like, such a shitty situation of having a condom inside you for 4 days, which is like, have you not gone pee for 4 days? Like, what has happened? But she tries to spin it and tries to make it into a positive. I really like this show. I really like how just extremely open and positive and progressive and just loving this show is. Their relationship is so sweet. I like it. Yeah. I've never had a relationship like them, so it's not like anything I can connect to, but it's just something I love seeing. And again, I don't know a better word other than chill. I love the vibe. I love just, like, the whole alleyway scene was the highlight of this episode because it was something that I have never experienced, but immediately filled me with a relatable feeling. I hate the word relatable because that's, a cop-out. It's very buzzwordy, but, I don't know a better word than relatable to me because that isn't what I mean. It is... like, it is that feeling of just being able to connect with somebody randomly, which is very difficult to do in life. It's very, it's almost impossible to just some random person that you've just met for a couple seconds and to have a connection and to share a, genuine conversation that is not putting on airs or anything or is not being pleasantries. And the only way that you can really get that usually is through something like weed or just smoking in general. And yeah, I have not really experienced that because I'm not really like a joint smoker, and also I would be too afraid to just like, go outside from my, like where I was eating to smoke. Like I would smoke before I would go into a restaurant or something or go into a movie theater or something, sure. Even like the parking lot, but I would feel I'm the kind of person who would be too nervous to leave smoke and then go back in. Like, I would feel like, oh, what if somebody, was watching me do that or something. Um, but yeah, so I don't, and also at my own work, it was not like there would be people hanging out outside of like a grocery store smoking or anything. Like I would definitely at my work leave, go in my car and just like drive and smoke, and then like my 10 minute, and then come back and whatever, or like my 30 minutes. My lunch break, I would always just drive to my house because my house was right across the street, so it took me 5 minutes to drive to my house. Then I could just chill and eat, make something to eat at my house, eat it there, watch some YouTube, smoke, and then drive back to work. But yeah, I never had that connection of just like getting into a random conversation with somebody. Even when I was like younger and like out with my friends and everything like that, like they would, but I would be in the distance as the socially awkward kid and everything. So yeah, really, really just liked how, I guess I'm just saying, like, I like how enticing they make poor culture a lot of times, because I definitely grew up on a lot of poor culture, so there's a lot of it I can relate to, but then there's also a lot of it where I have that, I wish I could have done that, I wish I could have been a part of something like that, even though it's not a great experience. It's not like I mean, this is a little bit different, but I just mean in general on the show. I have now found my words. I like how endearing and enticing they can make poor culture. That is what I wanted to sum up my feelings on the show, and especially of season 1. And especially between, like, again, Alana has a lot of outfits, but they're never, like, the difference really is just that she is wearing them, and they are poor. Like, it is not like an immediate designer outfit, like a name attached to it or something. But all of her outfits are super high fashion, but they probably are very, very cheap or cheap-ish or stolen, or she made it herself, or, passed down from other people or whatever. Like, Alana's definitely the kind of person I could see, being kind of like acquaintances with somebody, going over their house and just taking their clothes. I guess I don't have anything else to say about the episode. Yeah, the whole, like, dinner Last Supper thing was not expecting it to just be a, supper, and, like, the last supper of the season, I guess. But, yeah, good episode. Really liked it. See you guys for the next one. Till then, get the fuck out of here.